with just way too many options.
A million options,
Yeah.
right?
Or you're just like endlessly scrolling through all the streaming services.
You just end up watching nothing.
It's like the more choices you have, the harder it gets to choose.
Makes it harder.
So that's kind of like the paradox of choice in action.
Yeah.
And today we are diving into how that plays out in the world of hypnosis.
Oh, very cool.
Because it's...
I mean, it's a really intriguing area, you know?
Yeah.
Think more choices,
freedom, right.
more freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But in hypnosis, just like those menus,
Right.
sometimes too many options
Too many options.
can hinder progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And our source material today
Okay.
is an excerpt from an article on advanced conversational hypnosis by Virginie Imir.
Cool.
And it really highlights how this paradox can really
Yeah.
trip up hypnotists.
Them up.
And what's interesting about it is it compares them to someone who's struggling to pick from that massive menu.
Right.
So a hypnotist with too many techniques and too many protocols can actually become less effective.
They could, you know, it's fascinating because it's like
Yeah.
they get so caught up in choosing the quote unquote right approach
The right approach.
that they lose sight of what matters most,
And what's that?
the client.
The client, yeah, they're juggling all those balls and then
They drop
they drop the client.
the most important one,
So how does advanced conversational hypnosis address this?
ACH.
Or ACH?
Yeah, so ACH takes a completely different route.
Okay.
So imagine instead of this hypnotist that's, you know, stuck in all the techniques and protocols,
Right.
they're approaching each session with a sense of openness and curiosity
Okay.
and letting the client's unconscious mind
Okay.
guide the process.
Interesting.
That's what ACH is about,
Okay.
throwing out the rule book,
Yeah.
embracing a more intuitive and collaborative approach.
So instead of forcing the client into a box, they're meeting them
They meet them where they are
and then just going from there
and allow the session to unfold organically.
organically. Okay.
And you know, you were talking about those overwhelming menus earlier.
Right.
So wouldn't it be easier if it was just like
Oh, yeah.
carefully selected dishes?
Absolutely.
That's kind of what ACH is like.
A simplified menu?
It's like that simplified menu.
Okay.
You know, eliminating that pressure of choosing from countless techniques
Right.
allows practitioners to be more present, more intuitive, and ultimately more effective.
So it's stripping away the complexity
Yeah,
and just focusing on the essence of what the client's needs are.
exactly.
So how does that simplicity actually play out in an ACH session?
So one key element is something called clean language.
Clean language. Okay.
And it involves using very specific types of questions and phrasing.
Okay.
And it encourages the client to explore their own internal landscape
Mm-mm.
without the hypnotist imposing their own interpretations or suggestions. So it's like providing a clear, open space
Yeah.
for the client's unconscious mind to just express itself.
So instead of dictating the journey,
Yeah,
they're more like a guide,
exactly.
gently helping the client navigate their own inner world.
And this doesn't mean that, you know, traditional hypnosis techniques are completely abandoned.
Okay.
It's more about refining the approach,
Got it.
focusing on those core elements, you
Right.
know, the listening, the observing,
Right.
connecting authentically with the client,
Right.
and letting go of anything that might clutter the process.
Yeah. So it sounds like ACH is all about trusting
It is.
the client's own inner wisdom
Absolutely.
and allowing their unconscious mind to lead the way.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah.
It really is. And this idea that, you know, less is more when it comes to choices is actually backed by research
Oh, really?
outside of the hypnosis world, too.
Interesting.
There were these studies by Barry Schwartz and Iyengar and Lepper,
Okay.
and they found that people were more likely to actually make a decision and feel good about it
Okay.
when they had fewer options to choose from.
It seems counterintuitive, but I guess thinking about those times
Right.
when I've been totally frozen by having too many choices,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
It does.
So how does that actually like translate to the hypnotist?
Well, you know, it's about creating that space
Okay.
for clarity and confidence,
Okay.
both for the practitioner and the client.
Got it.
So when a hypnotist isn't, you know, bogged down
Right.
by trying to decide which technique to use
Yeah.
from this, you know, huge toolbox,
Hmm.
they can become more present and more attuned to the client.
So they're not getting lost in their own decision making. And they can
Exactly.
really focus on what the client's communicating.
Right. And that's where nonverbal and paraverbal communication
Okay.
becomes so crucial in ACH.
Interesting.
It's about tuning into the client's body language, their
Yeah.
tone of voice, you know,
Right.
even those subtle shifts in energy
Little shift.
that might be missed. If a practitioner is too focused on, you know,
On a script or something.
a script or a protocol.
So they're kind of developing a sixth sense
In a way, yeah.
about what the client is really experiencing
Beyond the words.
beyond the word.
Yeah, and that allows them to really tailor the session
Okay.
to the client's unique needs.
Interesting.
It becomes like a dance
A tan.
between the conscious and unconscious minds, guided by intuition and deep listening.
That brings us back to that idea of ACH,
Yeah.
that by simplifying their toolkit,
Yeah,
they can actually become more effective
more effective.
because they can connect with the client
Deeper love.
on a deeper level.
It's a beautiful paradox, isn't it?
It is.
Less can be more.
Less is more.
You know, by letting go of the need to control every aspect of the session, you create space for something much more powerful.
What's that?
The client's own capacity
Okay.
for healing and transformation.
That reminds me of that saying,
What is it?
get out of your own way.
Oh, yeah.
By letting go of all these extra choices,
Right.
you free yourself up
You do.
to be more present and in tune with the process.
And it's like the hypnotist becomes more of a facilitator,
The facilitator.
gently guiding the client on their own journey of self-discovery,
Yeah.
rather than, trying to impose a predetermined outcome.
Yeah. This is making me think about all the other areas in
Right.
life where
Sure.
this could apply.
Oh, totally.
Like, think about your wardrobe,
Your to-do list,
your to-do list.
your social media feed.
Oh, yeah.
Letting go of some of those options free up space,
Yeah.
mental space and energy.
For things that really matter.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's not just about hypnosis.
Right.
It's how we approach decision-making in every part of our lives.
Yeah.
When we're constantly bombarded with choices, it can be so draining.
So draining.
But when we simplify,
Right.
when we curate our options, we create space for, clarity, focus, and ultimately greater fulfillment.
I'm definitely going to be more mindful
Me too.
of this paradox
Yeah.
from now on.
It's like you've unlocked this new lens
Yeah.
to view the world.
Totally.
And I bet you'll start to see the benefits of simplifying your choices
Yeah.
in ways you didn't even expect.
This has been so insightful.
It has.
I feel like we've only just touched the surface
To scratch the surface.
of this
Not
concept.
this
And
segment.
I have a feeling you're going to be thinking about this paradox of choice
Oh, yeah.
long after this episode is over.
I agree. It's one of those ideas that
Yeah.
just keeps unfolding
Yeah,
the more you think about it.
absolutely. So before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I have to ask, if you were designing a hypnosis protocol,
Okay.
what would be that one essential element?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
It's almost like asking,
Yeah.
what's the secret sauce of transformation?
Right.
And for me, it all boils down to trust.
Trust. Okay.
Trust in the process, trust in the client's unconscious mind, and trust in your own intuition as a practitioner.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like that foundation of trust
Yeah.
creates a space for the magic to happen.
Exactly. It allows the client to let go,
Yeah.
to open up, and really connect with their own inner wisdom.
This has been such a mind-expanding conversation.
It has.
And I think it's a great reminder that sometimes the simplest solutions
Yeah.
are the most effective ones.
They are.
Whether we're talking about hypnosis or any other area of life,
Right.
stripping away the excess, the clutter,
All the options.
all the overwhelming options
Yeah.
can free us up to tap into our true potential.
Absolutely.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
What areas of your life could benefit from simplifying your choices? Where could you pare down, let go, and create more space for what truly matters?
That's powerful.
It makes me think about the people who actually come to a hypnotist
Yeah.
for help.
Right.
They're probably coming in feeling really stuck or overwhelmed
Oh, absolutely.
in some area of their lives.
And oftentimes that feeling stuck
yeah,
is directly related to having too many choices
too many choices.
or feeling paralyzed by indecision.
So the hypnotist, by embracing this simplicity, is kind of like modeling that way of being
Exactly.
for the client.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, hey,
Yeah,
it's okay to let go of the need to control everything.
right.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Believe that your unconscious mind knows the way.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
And it makes me wonder if we could apply this
Yeah,
to other areas beyond just the session,
absolutely.
like encouraging the client to simplify their morning routine, to declutter their space, set boundaries with their time and energy.
Right, giving them tools to navigate
Yeah,
the paradox of choice
in everyday life.
in their everyday lives. Yeah,
This is really eye-opening.
it is.
It feels like we've uncovered
A hidden gem,
a hidden gem
a wisdom.
that can apply to so many things.
So many aspects of life.
So I want to encourage you listening
Yeah.
take a moment and reflect on the areas where you're feeling overwhelmed by choices. Where could you simplify?
Simplify, yeah.
Declutter.
Declutter.
Create space.
Create space.
It matters.
For what truly matters. And if you're hypnotist out there listening, how might you incorporate this principle of the paradox of choice into your practice?
Interesting.
What would it look like to trust your intuition more and allow the client's unconscious mind to lead the way?
These are some really thought-provoking questions.
They are.
And we've got links to the research in the show notes so you can dive deeper into this topic.
It's a journey of discovery.
It is a journey.
That we hope you'll continue.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Okay.
But remember, the exploration doesn't stop here.
It doesn't.
Keep questioning, keep learning, and keep simplifying those choices.
Until next time, may your journeys be filled with clarity and purpose.
See you on the next deep dive.